Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll share the top 10 tips you need to know before coming to USA. If you want to know how to get an F1 visa, then make sure you watch my previous video. I'll add the link to that video in the description box below, so do check it out. Before I start this video, let me tell you a tiny bit about myself. I came here to the USA as an international student 2 years ago. I am from Gujarat, India. I have done my bachelor's in dental surgery from India and master's in public health from USA. In today's video, I'll be talking about top 10 tips you should know before coming to USA. One of the tips also focus on an unfortunate incident that happened to me when I came to USA. So make sure you watch the whole video. I have created this by keeping in mind what I wish to know before coming here. It's not that you won't be able to do this after coming here. It's comforting and good to know or have at least some idea of what we are getting into and how we will manage everything. So we can start planning ahead or at least prepare our mind for the upcoming process. So let's get started with our top 10 tips. Tip number 1. Flight fares and transportation upon arrival at the USA. Compare and find the best fares for flights to the USA with multiple websites like Make My Trip, GoIbibo, Expedia, ClearTrip, and Google Flights. Make sure to plan ahead. Research about the current conditions at your destination and then travel accordingly. Bring sanitizing wipe with you. You can just get a travel size pack of it. Make sure to check the travel.state.government website for the updated travel recommendation related to coronavirus. Restrictions and requirements can change rapidly, especially with COVID-19 cases spikes in the US. Also make sure that your flights are refundable. Now let's talk about transportation upon arrival at USA. When you arrive at the US airport, use Uber or Lyft to reach your destination. In most cases, it's much cheaper compared to a taxi. Tip 2. Phone plans. It's challenging and confusing to choose an ideal plan that suits your need. As an international student, you might want to look at plans that provide unlimited international calling. Phone plans in the USA can be expensive. What I would suggest is starting with a temporary phone plan like Lyca Mobile, which only costs $19 per month. You can buy a Lyca SIM card from any Indian store. The pros of this plan are that it's a lot cheaper compared to other plans, provide free international calls in around 75 countries, and get 1 GB internet. Once you get more idea about the phone plans, family plans are the best way to move forward. So after some time in the USA, you'll have a good number of friends. You can share your phone plan with them and get a family plan altogether. Also, you'll have Wi-Fi at your university and home, so you don't need to worry about a plan with more than 2 GB of data. But it depends on person to person. I'm an introvert. I hardly use 500 MB of my mobile data. Tip 3. Get set up. Start the process for all the documents that you will need in your near future as soon as possible. Student ID. This is a must and really important. Bank account, so you can get a debit card and do shopping. State ID, so you don't have to carry your passport everywhere you go. Social security card, you will definitely need this if you want to work on OPT or CPT or on campus. You are only allowed to work on campus for 20 hours per week. If you want to work outside the campus related to your field, you will need to apply for CPT. And after you graduate, you can apply for OPT. But you can only work in the United States if you have Social Security card. Tip 4. Do your research before picking any class. Each student will be assigned to an academic advisor. Consult with your academic advisor and plan which classes you want to take to complete the degree in a particular time frame. You do have the freedom to choose when you want to take the class, with few exceptions. For example, you cannot enroll in an advanced class before taking an intro class, which makes sense. You can choose the time frame in which you want to complete your degree. You can take more or less time than mentioned in your I-20 as a completion date. You will have to maintain your status as a full-time. And for that, you need to take at least 9 credits every semester, with at least one being in-person or traditional class. Except for summers. You can choose to take classes in summers if you want to. Because of this COVID-19 situation, this might change. So make sure you check this. Tip 5. Student discount. You can find student discount at so many sites. Always check if there is a student discount available or not before buying things. Here are some of my favorites. Amazon Prime. You get a 6-month free trial period, and after that you only pay $6.49 per month. Compared to the regular price, that is $12.99 per month. YouTube Premium, you get 1 month free trial and then $6.99 per month. Compared to the regular price, that is almost $12. Apple Music and Spotify. You also get like 3 months of free trial and then you only pay almost $5 a month. For the regular price, that is $10 a month. You can also get student discounts in clothing stores, but you have to check for that. Tip number 6. It's more expensive than you think. It's better to plan your monthly expenses from the very beginning. Choose your home wisely. You can save a lot of money if you can take some time to research what house fits your need and has a decent rent. Also have roommates. Apart from saving rent, you will have lots of fun you can possibly imagine. From movie nights to going out, also you'll have lots of random talks. Cook your own food. There'll be huge reduction in your monthly expenses if you regularly cook. It's also a healthy alternative. Transportation. You can use public transportation if that's an available option. The public transportation is different for different cities. Some cities do have decent public transportation while some do not. There is a recent increase in bike sharing program. That is also a good option if you are into that. Utilities. Apart from water, electricity and internet, you'll also have to pay rental insurance. You can choose monthly or yearly plans for your rental insurance. Tip number 7. The tipping culture is very different in USA. It's expected for you to tip for every personal service you receive. For example, dining at restaurant, or if you take a car service like Uber, ordering a food for home delivery like DoorDash or Uber Eats. For the dine-in restaurant, you can tip around 15 to 20% total bill before tax. For an easy way to figure out a 20% of tip, a good rule of thumb is to round off your total, double the amount, and then add 1 decimal point. For example, your check total before tax is $32.70. Round off to $33. Then take 33 and double it, which is $66, and add a decimal point by moving it 1 place to the left, which would be $6.06. Therefore, $6.06 is 20% tip of $33. Tip number 8. You don't need to buy textbooks. There are 3 options. You can buy books, rent a book, or request a book from library. Buying a textbook could be really expensive in the USA. Each textbook I needed per semester was worth nearly between $60 to $100. textbooks are usually so expensive that people here rent the textbook for the semester. You can get the same textbooks without paying anything by just requesting the book from the library. You just need your student ID to issue the books. Be sure that you do this before your semester begins, or at least in a few weeks of semester, as sometimes there are only a few copies available to request. If you prefer ebooks, then you can also visit the website of your university library and request ebooks. Additionally, you can also borrow a Chromebook from the university. Tip number 9. Be aware of spam calls. This is like the most important tip. Spam calls targeting social security cards are responsible for full 10% of all fraud calls. According to Federal Trade Commission, this type of fraud cost $19 million last year, and fraud like this will continue to multiply. Do not believe if a caller said they are from Social Security Services and your Social Security card is revoked due to some criminal activity. The Social Security Administration does not make this type of calls and never ask you to confirm your Social Security over the phone. I had my own experience with this. I was so convinced by a scammer that there was criminal activity linked to my SSN. I searched for the phone number and it turned out to be a phone number of my nearest police station. Apparently, they use some software that mimics the number of police station in your area. They will try to scare you, make you feel that they are watching you, and you are definitely at fault. So be careful. And if you are not sure, just cut the call. They might call you again and again, but do not pick up the calls. I knew nothing about this when I came to USA, and I would definitely like if people really know about this. Recently, these scammers are focusing more on international students because they are not aware of these incidents, which makes them an easy target. The police department has received more reports of international students receiving phone calls where the caller asked for money or the student would be arrested or deported. The caller identified himself as a police officer from the Internal Revenue Service. The phone number he called was from IRS refund hotline. So if you are receiving any suspicious calls or any caller who said they are from government agency and want to know about your bank information, then call the UIS police department and do not believe them. Tip number 10. Meet new people, make friends, and get ready for cultural shock. I have always been an introvert, with only a few exceptions. It's been 2 years since I came to USA, and I have been more socialized with people in these 2 years compared to my whole life. It was definitely a different experience. I'm a person who enjoys personal space, and still, it was really a good change. So meet people, open up, but do maintain a safe distance. Most people I find here are really sweet, encouraging, and want to know as much as you want to know about them. You'll definitely get some cultural shocks, and I believe while it's a fun process to discover this on your own, let me tell you a few of them which might help you. Winter and snow can get really depressing after initial curiosity wears off, but you'll definitely love spring and autumn. It's so full of colors. Cheeseburger is not a vegetarian burger with cheese. It's a burger with a beef patty. Strangers smile at you and make small conversations like how are you all across America, and it's so normal. Healthcare, even the basic healthcare, is costly for people without insurance. You will be paying a huge portion of money for your health insurance every semester. When you are at restaurant and ask for water, it will be always served with ice. So if you do not prefer ice, then do tell them in advance. When addressing someone, you will have to address people by their title and their last name until they tell you otherwise. And last but not the least, find your country's student association, or join any club that you like to build a group of friends who are familiar with your culture. They'll help you when you get homesick, understand your perspective, and celebrate traditional holidays with you. But do get involved in American traditional as well. You don't want to miss that. I hope you liked this video and found something that was helpful in the video. If you do, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.